Excellent. Welcome to the TADSummit Innovators. I'm talking to Nikhil of vapi.ai. They are doing some really cool stuff in the AI agent space. Nikhil, please introduce yourself and your company.
Sure. Thanks, Alan and Johnny, for having me. We're Vapi. We're making a platform for voice bots. We want to make it super easy to get voice bots deployed anywhere on any medium. So phone calling, websites, apps, hardware devices. And ultimately, we're trying to solve the problem of unlock human interface to these intelligences that like OpenAI, Anthropic, all of these other companies are building.
Cool. That's great. So maybe you can give a little bit more sort of explanation around what differentiates Vapi and how people can learn more and actually play with your agents.
Yep, for sure. And let me start with anyone can make voice bots, right? Like these OpenAI is a public API. You could take these LLMs, you can take the text to speech, maybe 11 labs. Then you can take speech to text like PPRAM, stitch them together, and then you have something that speaks.
Yeah.
But the thing that you'll run into is that you have to figure out how to like stream everything end to end. Audio is coming in, and every byte has to move at like the lowest latency possible. But stitching them together within like 600 milliseconds, like maybe 500 milliseconds, is the challenge.
Yeah.
That's like the first like couple months that you can expect work to do.
Yeah.
Which we just handle, right? Immediately when you hop into the platform, you're getting that pipeline that's like fully optimized, fully stitched. The second piece, like maybe once you build that from a geek perspective, right, it's fun. Okay, like we figure out how to stream this thing.
Yeah.
You need to figure out how to get the audio bytes from the server to the person really fast.
Yeah.
So that's maybe like you have your own like Cloudflare private backbone. Maybe you have you use the AWS private backbone. Like you need some kind of private backbone just global to support your users. So that's the second kind of technical challenge that's pretty fun that you might hop into maybe another like couple of weeks. So okay, you have this thing that's really optimized. You can talk to users. You can deliver the experience in most places. Then what you run into is I pause there for like 2 seconds. And when do you speak? So the human is speaking. Maybe you decide like I'll add a timeout. So I'm listening to the human, and as soon as I pause for 500 milliseconds or 600 milliseconds, I'm going to speak. Except what if this pause to think for 4 seconds? So making the determination of the timeout between like should I go immediately as soon as they're done speaking, so like 200 milliseconds, which is network latency, or should I like wait? That's the kind of the first machine learning model you have to make, which is like the model for endpointing, turn taking.
Yeah.
Current approaches use like VAD. I'm sure, it's a technical term, but like voice activity detector, maybe some like fancy logic around like how the word is, but it's just not good enough. The same way, when you look at the magic, like why is ChatGPT effective? It's effective because it's a large language model. It's a huge model trained on a lot of data with a lot of compute.
Yeah.
You basically have to make the same kind of investment to get a good turn-taking model. Yeah. And we have made that. We spend like, a lot of money on training these models. So but then, okay, you're like, the spot is perfect. It speaks so fluently and it knows when to like pause. It's still like you're form filling, you're turn taking.
Yeah.
Whereas as you're talking, you're going, yeah. So laughter is a great one. It's an integral part of the experience, like the human experience to back channel, to like give affirmations. There you go. That's your second machine learning model that you'll have to make. So you need to have a model that's like again, think about the latency here, right? Like in Zoom or Twilio, you're getting audio bytes like every 20 milliseconds. So every 20 milliseconds, you're getting these chunks.
Yeah.
And you need to have a model that's like super optimized to make a good determination of new audio chunks. Like, oh, now I back channel, because as soon as if you miss that window, then it's gone.
Exactly.
So what you need to do then is like have an audio kind of text model, maybe even to do in the future, to know when to back channel, when to give affirmations.
Yeah.
So now we're in our journey, we have this like super optimized thing that knows when to like speak and not to speak, and it can also like kind of give engaging responses.
Yeah.
Except it can't tell when you're angry, when you're like sad, when you're like, it can't give you emotional support, or it can't feel like, doesn't feel human in the same way that talking to your friends might be.
Exactly.
So then you can do the third model. So ultimately, like when you keep going down this list of problems, you realize, oh man, this is a full orchestration model that you need to build. This is like a huge task undertaking in itself, which is months and months, like if not like years in R&D. And someone like if you're a business, yeah, right, you're like, okay, I can make my own voice bot. I can stitch these things together. But think about the year down the line.
Yeah.
Someone will make that investment to make these really high quality experiences on top of AIs, and your competitors who are using that are going to be like 10 of the product that you are. So it's obvious in the market where like you need to, it's obvious to like pick a good partner, and that's where we come in, right? We want to be people's like audio experts, like coming in, the best like R&D team, the best like DevOps team to deploy these things at scale in a reliable way with like the best in class like models.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of like high level on like where the state of the art in terms of like human conversation with these AIs is.
Gotcha. Nope, that's clear. So it's very much, it's a technology R&D play about building the best voice bot experience, full stop. So then regardless of your application, you can use your technology and then give a very natural interface for, it could be just to like a IVR front end for some very basic interactions. But then as you build confidence, as you integrate your voice bot into the workflows that you've built up for that IVR, it then can take over more and more sort of scope.
That's exactly right. And like when you think about, you're betting on an exponential here, right? Like
Yes.
I think everyone talks about the exponential that happened with Moore's law, and this, what people are telling is it's kind of exponentially managed so fast. Like these things are getting like 10x better year over year.
Yeah.
So let's say right now you start with, and this is what we tell our customers is like, hey, come in, just start dip your toes. Like instead of like having your customers type like digits and wait like minutes to like tens of minutes for a simple question to get answered, just try to dip your toes, like make a question answering bot.
Yeah.
Person calls you, it's an IVR that like feels really human to talk to, and you can like talk to it, and it will just give like immediately you can have high quality answers, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, GPT-5 will drop sometime in the future.
Yeah.
And then you'll have an immediately like a full agent that you can build an extension on top of it. But you already have the basic infrastructure lined up.
Gotcha. No, that's clear. Now, on your website, and that was, after our first conversation, I went straight on and I played with it. So you can actually play with your voice bot in real time and experience how it interacts, all the pieces, because it's all those different models are concatenated. As you said, it's an orchestration platform to deliver a very natural and to an extent fun, because you can tell that the agent reflects the emotion as you're speaking to it, which I thought was quite interesting. So it was, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was one of the best, sort of voice bots I've ever talked with, and I immediately, was saying to different people, I was like, look at this, and, I guess from those discussions, one of the challenges is everybody's playing in this space at the moment, trying to build these natural interfaces, voice interfaces. For those that are doing this and going down that path, what's your proposition? What do you find are the keys that can turn somebody from going, well, we're already doing it, to, oh, we need to ride your bandwagon?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing is like when as I said, it was important to us, like put it right on the website. Anyone can go talk to it on the phone, on the go.
Yeah.
Because people don't really I can talk about these things, it's integration, but like you can't experience it.
Exactly.
And once you experience it, you can't go back.
Yeah.
So that's for us, like the kind of the go to market here, which is like try it. See if it feels to you. This is when you want to build it out. And you can kind of see the exponential from there. Experience, you know what's coming.
Exactly. And you've got the dashboard there as well. So that's what I found was really bad. I mean, you've got the whole piece where you can just basically lift it and then apply it in your particular situation, which I thought was very powerful.
So basically, don't mind me jumping in. Basically, you're giving a free test, free place to play for a lot of the companies, a lot of the CPaaS companies, a lot of companies that are actually all trying to play in the space right now. So you can actually kind of walk the walk and say, come on over here and see how we're doing this and how we're playing it. So obviously you definitely need more customers in order to train your product to perfection, because that seems to be the race to oil here, is who gets there first and who gets there in a way to make these less clumsy. Correct?
Exactly. I think so. I think there is like this thing about like timing where, again, I don't claim to say like we will be the ones to crack this, right? It's a hard problem.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to give it a shot, and we still might die, like most startups do. But we are here to give it our best shot and like put all of our energy into this thing. And yes, like someone will crack it. Someone will make the investment. Someone will have the idea to crack this thing of like human interaction. For us, you can kind of go to the dashboard, see like right now in this brief moment, I think we're the most cutting edge in the world.
Yeah.
Like we're probably the best experience you'll see, I think, out there. I'm sure Apple or Google could like release something tomorrow and that'll be great. But in this brief moment, we're the best. You go to the dashboard, you can then make a bot for yourself.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have all these integrations that we built out, right? Like we have direct SIM tracking, we have Twilio, OneEdge, WebRTC. So once you've built that bot out that you're happy with, then we work with you, or we have public talks that you'll see on how to integrate this thing into your systems.
Yeah.
So we are a pretty raw platform where we want to stay core to the voice piece and let you do everything else, but open up interface, open up like holes for you to like, I want my transcripts. Okay, we have a thing for that. I want this. I want that.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, look, you've already raised millions of dollars of it, and I like your confidence and your humbleness in the same sentence. So right now you're leading the way because you kind of said that underlying. So I think the message here is for people, and a lot of you companies out there, Bitbird and Single Wire, all you guys go and play and see what these guys have built right now. I think it's exciting. We love, like I said, I've had such a pleasure dealing with Alan and listening to all these innovative companies. From a finance perspective, look, AI is gold right now. I mean, obviously you guys have raised money. There's just, people don't want to hear anything else. I mean, the whole CPaaS industry is now CPaaS AI. They all need a twist. And really, the taking away the clumsiness of it, of when to talk, when not to talk, how it responds, is really what I'm learning is the biggest challenge. So are you guys doing any other thing else other than pointing people at your website? Are you marketing to customers, or it's just kind of word of mouth, or is all your dollars going into biz dev and developing your product, or are you out there actively seeking for customers that both may bring in revenue and also enable your product to work better? Because obviously you need more people to make it work right. Or are that too many questions in one sentence? Because I'm fascinated by this.
So I think actually most of our time is spent on engineering and research. Like I'm just like kind of deep in like kernel code and like trying to make like machine learning models make sense and make work. But I do have an early access program where if Alan is like, hey, you should talk to this person, they would be a great partner for you and a great early customer. So again, we are also a public API, right? Like you can go and like play it by yourself, but like again, I think right now we're a place where we want to work closely with like 10 or 20 companies who are very serious. They want to like they're like, I want to deploy voice bots or agents the next month. I'm serious. I want to go in. I have all these like customers that are already lined up, and I'm ready to make that investment. We'll work closely with you to get this like cutting edge thing deployed on your platform. So I think you mentioned Signalwire. Signalwire, I think, released like some kind of AI digital employee thing within their platform as well.
Yeah.
And so you can think about other competitors to Signalwire who might be left behind. And that's the place where we're coming in. We're like, hey, we can power your AI agent platforms. We can integrate into your existing CPaaS systems, existing switches, existing whatever, and you can deliver kind of the same experience.
I mean, bandwidth just has launched something at Enterprise Connect. I mean, they have a large customer base, so they really need to be playing in this space. Like, they're somebody you should be talking to, and they're a great company. Just off the top of my head, I mean, they got big airline companies. They got a big customer base.
I'm trying to think. I think we might already be talking.
Okay. I'm just thinking of different companies. There's so many different companies, and a lot of the CPaaS players are in Europe as well. But look, I think
for us, I think if you look at the history of innovation also, is that there's like the renegades, like the early adopters are not always the biggest companies, right? Like the Signal Wire, Bandwidth, they're great, they're phenomenal, but they have a certain like pace and certain like there needs to be like kind of like they need to like make it run out themselves, and then kind of see if they will see like, oh, should we adopt something else? Should we like just do it in-house? Whereas like if you look at the early adopters who are like maybe more mid-size, who like to keep like tight focused teams on their kind of via our CPaaS platform, we like to keep focused on like making the best like low latency switches. Then if you want a partner who can give you kind of empower your AI voice agent side, that's where I think a sweet spot I can imagine is. Of course, I don't know, but where the interest would come. Like we're open to anyone, but we do have we do want to constrain ourselves where like we want to work closely with only like 10 to 20 companies. We'll help you get deployed in the next month. Just we need people who, it's just time is limited, bandwidth is limited. We want to make focused investment.
You don't want fishing trips where people are learning about it. You want people that are looking to get something out and deployed and solve a specific problem. So again, they're in the IVR space, or they're in a space where they're serving customers today, but to remain competitive, and they're not of a size where they can build up their own agent, or they started then realize, damn, this is an 18-month to 2-year project. We don't have that time. We need to solve it in months, and that's where you come in.
Exactly. It was like, get deployed, we'll help you get deployed, but then you're reaping the benefits of like, for example, maybe I'll give a simple example here.
Please,
so at 3 months ago, OpenAI was a leading model, and then Anthropic released Claude 3. And the Haiku model is as performant as like the old GPT-4, and it's 40x cheaper. So you can imagine you have like the Moore's law is insane here. Like it's like 40x cheaper in less than a year at the same like quality. So now, and we did all the work to integrate that because their function calling was like in beta, right? So we work closely with like again AWS, Anthropic, all of these companies, because again we for us it's like we work very closely with these providers to have like the best latency. It's very important for us. So we have arrangements directly. So, but within like a couple of days, we had this thing out. Whereas you can imagine this would be internally like a month-long project, 2-month project, and then you can instantly just use a toggle for you to go from like Anthropic to GPT-4 to Anthropic. So that's what I mean. Industry is moving fast. You want a partner who understands like who's the cutting edge of DevOps, who's cutting edge of R&D.
No, that's clear. And we'll do our best to get your website out there and people playing with your agent, because once you've played with it, you then realize the step change. That's, for me, I think is the most important piece.
This is also a big boys game too. I mean, obviously you're out on the West Coast. There's a lot of money in New York. Because you're talking, this is multi-million-dollar raise here. I know you guys have raised quite a bit of money already. Are you at an opportunity right now where putting it out there and having people reach out to you guys as possibly participating? We have a lot of people on Wall Street listening to us, a lot of analysts and people, but this is a big boys game that you're playing. Obviously, your humbleness, somebody's going to figure it out, but it could be you guys. And if you feel like you're in the lead right now and you're putting it out there publicly for people to play with, that's a pretty bold statement. So, and it's good. It's good. You need to be confident. Look, it's the truth. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we're here, like we work 24/7, for example, like our entire team is like this, and it's just that's all I know. Like all I know is input, right? All I know is like we're pretty smart, I think. So in terms of like, we're just making these investments, and we're going to keep going. And like we're here to solve human interface. Like it's a hard problem, it's a big problem. It just requires a lot of investment. So if you think about OpenAI raising like billions of dollars, just at least these of tens of millions of dollars. So all the models we're training right now, the way I think about them, they're GPT 1.5 level. They're GPT 1 level. It's like where the T2, where the Transformers industry was in 2017. So what we have is like 2 or 3 magnitudes like that we want to do, obviously, and then we need the resources to make those investments.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's the path. There's just no other.
Clear.
It is what it is. And in terms of like where we are in terms of that raise, currently we still have quite a few like we have money from, thanks to cloud providers, we have money from like the investments we raised. We're just trying to burn through it. We're just trying to like just absolutely like go ham on like these models. And while simultaneously working with like customers, as I mentioned, early access, like what is the most important investments to make, right? Like as I mentioned, there's a couple different investments we could make. We could make emotion recognition investments. There's another like model I didn't even talk about, denoisers.
Yes.
So call centers, it's very important that person, like we have 3 people here. I know when you're talking to me, when Alan is talking to you, these AIs don't know that there's background speech. They will get like distracted because these ASR systems, all the ASR systems in the world, they're actually overfitted to hearing every word. They hear music in the background.
Yeah.
So that's another model. So we have all these like investments that we make, and when we want to double down on an investment, we kind of look to the customer and be like, okay, what is most important for them?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like combining the investments we're making with like making it like something that's immediately deployable, something immediately useful to people, and then kind of having that flywheel of like, okay, we have these deployments that's bringing us like more insights into what's needed, make the next set of investments, and have that flywheel.
Yep, that's clear. Cool. So anything else you want to add, Johnny?
No, look, I'm excited. I'm excited to make some phone calls here. So, you got you raised money from cloud providers, and I would take it VC, early VC.
Yes. So we are a VC company, and then we had Kleiner Perkins leader seed, and Abstract Ventures, Garage Capital, Soma, bunch of people who like YC companies, and yeah, will be the next thing is coming soon. So we'll keep pushing on the research, and but right now our biggest priority is customers. If you're a customer who's like very excited about AI agents and they want to offer it in your platform or want to offer it in your whatever offering that you have, solution that you have. Again, we're not a solution, right? We're a platform. We're focused on R&D. So we need people to come in. I need this in my solution. I need this in my product. And then we work with you to get it deployed. So focus on that couple of months, and then we'll probably go out and raise.
Perfect. No, that's a clear plan. Well done.
Alan, get it out to your community. You got the biggest community in telecom by far from a subscriber base.
Absolutely. So, we'll get it out there and we'll hammer for Nikhil. So well done. This was really fun.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for your time.